Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Hetty Sessions and thank you so much for joining me today in the spiritual nest. I have been considering making a YouTube channel for a while now. We are of an age where we're very lucky to be able to connect with each other. It's such a wide, huge platform that I thought now is the time for me to branch out a little bit more, to reach out to other psychics or other people who are on their spiritual journeys, or just people who are intrigued by what we do, why we do it and how we do it. I have been considering doing a channel for a long time now, but for someone that is very, very untechnical, it is daunting. However, with the help of my husband and the input of my daughter, because she will input it regardless, I've decided to take that scary leap of connecting online with everybody, anyone and everyone. So let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Hetty Sessions. I have been working as a psychic full-time for the past 3.5 years. I've been doing it unfull-time, part-time, in my spare time for 16 years. It's part of my life. It is my life. I do not know my life without spirituality. I don't know who I am without spirituality. So my goal for this channel is to be able to help, support, branch out, reach out, others who are on their spiritual pathways. I would love to be able to say to you there is a start, a middle and an end. There is no end. It is a continuous journey, and if I can help somebody along the way, then my work here is done. Let me tell you a little bit about me. So I first recognised that I had the gift when I was approximately 5, 6 years old. My first experience spiritually was horrific, horrifying. Imagine yourself as a 5-year-old laying in bed, and it was in the early hours. Everybody was asleep. I could hear my dad snoring and my mum grinding her teeth, and my little sister was in another room. And for some reason, I just got woken up in the middle of the night, and I was woken up to these 4 heads hovering around me. And as a 5-year-old, you don't really know you don't know what that means. I just knew it was really, really scary. So to be fair, if I woke up to that now, I would probably do the exact same thing. I just got my duvet, pulled it over my head and cried myself to sleep. That was the first thing that I could really remember, in any form of spiritual connection. As the years went on, from what I'm told and what I remember, I'd always had somebody that I was speaking to. My mum was amazing. My mum is still amazing. She's always supported me. I would go to her and be like, "Mum," and she'd be like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine." That kind of makes sense the more the story goes in, why my mum was really, really cool about it. And I kind of always experienced things, especially the house that we grew up in. I don't like using this word, but it was definitely haunted. There was an energy attached to my sister's room that was not a pleasant one. And I believe that was the energy that sent over these 4 floating heads. So growing up, I was always very aware that there were some things that I couldn't see. My mum will tell you that I tried my best to be studious at school. However, there was always a distraction. My mum put it down to being a Sagittarius. We now know it was because of my connection with my friends, as I call them. Then we speed forward until I was 16 years old, and I was in a car crash. We got hit from the side and my head went forward and hit my mum's headrest, which caused my head to split open. Really, really traumatic time for me. I was severely bullied at school anyway, and you can imagine that added more coals to the fire. However, from that point, I find that's a real turning point for my spirituality. It's almost as if that head injury really kicked my door open, and it went from a level 3 to like a level 73. During that actual timing of the crash, I was unconscious because of my head, but I saw my great uncle appear, and he just said to me, no, not yet, back down you go. And that whole thing, when they say your life flashed in front of your eyes, absolutely a thing, absolutely happened. I saw my entire life. But my uncle, my great uncle, he was my nan's sister's husband, who was a medium, not blood related, but this will kind of again come out in the story later why I keep mentioning my family. He just said, no, back down you go, girl. So yeah, from that point onwards, it was just, everything was magnified. Now I can see. I can see with my third eye, I can hear, I can taste, I can sense, I have intuition. The only, there's multiple different types of clairvoyancy. Clairvoyance is what kind of we all know, and that's where you see, is I don't have the ability to touch and pick up energy. That's something that I think is an absolutely amazing skill, but I personally can't do it. I don't know if anyone's been to a medium prior, but they could have picked up somebody's necklace and kind of get all this information. It's not something I can do. I've tried, really tried. No, just not blessed in that way. So yeah, from that point, I'd say that that's when my real spiritual journey began. However, I had a lot of mental health problems because of the crash, depression, anxiety, and that I had to focus on that first of all. I had to get myself better to be able to focus on my spiritual journey. My mum's always been a really spiritual lady. She does yoga. She's always been welcoming with crystals and crystal healing and things like that. So it's always been something that's been really welcomed into my family. It wasn't until later life that I realised that I actually come from a real strong line of psychic mediums. It was never something that was pushed onto me or even mentioned. And when I say later on, I'm talking in my 20s that my mum told me that my nan was my uncle, and my uncle who came to me, him, but also my nan's brother also was. So there's a real long line of psychic mediums in my family. So I believe that's where my gift really stems from. I'm very, very lucky in the respects of my family have been nothing but supportive. My husband has been endlessly supportive. Some will not believe, and I will say that now. There are members in my family who just do not, and that's absolutely fine. We are all allowed, we're blessed to live in a day and age where we're all allowed to have our beliefs. So there will be people that go, of course you do. I literally had it the other day with a woman that I was talking to, and I told her what I did, and she went, okay. But in this job, in your journey, one thing that I will kind of talk on later is that you need to have thick skin, because you will come across a lot of naysayers, but that's fine, because I always say we'll let them have their beliefs. We know the truth, so live and let live. So yeah, that's me. This channel, we will concentrate on multiple different types of spirituality. Like I said, my goal is to just help people, whether it's develop their gift or whether it is to give guidance or just answer general questions. I get asked so many questions every single day, and I think that this is going to be a really great way to answer those questions that people are really intrigued to know about spirituality. So yeah, that's me.